If I look straight ahead, I'm looking at you right now, but I don't know
Yeah.
what it looks like with my eyes.
Yeah, it looks a little bit off center, but it actually looks better like that because imagine,
This probably
okay,
looks
like,
straight on, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not looking at you when I do that.
This looks
Yeah.
this looks weird, right? If I talk to you like this, that's weird. It's like,
No, it looks like you're looking straight ahead, like straight into it.
okay. Oh man, what's new, Coach?
Same shit, different day, man. My sister's in town, so I went over there and visited with her, my mom, and my dad for a little bit, but I
Mhm.
haven't done anything, man. I've been lazy as shit the last week because I've been forced to be lazy. I can't go to the gym. I can't really do anything. I mean, you can't really see it. I mean, I've got
Yeah,
stitches in my
yeah,
finger, but those will come out before I see you. If I have to, I'll
yeah.
cut them out myself, which I think that's easier.
The most annoying thing is something so small, but it actually affects you like so much,
It
right?
affects everything. It's like probably like a 3/4 inch cut on my finger, but I can barely actually close my hand now. So I can't really do chest. I mean, not to mention, I'm not going to go to the gym because I don't want this shit to get infected.
Mhm.
But even if I was not afraid of the infection, like I can't literally do anything without
Yeah.
like pain in my hand.
It's funny. When I used to bounce, we had got into like a scuffle, and I sprained my wrist really bad, right? So of course I'm thinking, oh, it's a sprained wrist, no problem. And I'm like, let's see what I could do. And I tried training chest, I couldn't
Yeah,
press anything. Then I'm like, okay, well, I should be able to train like arms. I couldn't like grip anything tight. Okay, now it's like I guess I can't do back. That's weird. But I could do legs, but then I'm noticing even when I'm on extension and I hold the side, it was like crazy pain, right? I can't hold the bar behind me.
yeah.
Uh, I could leg press, but I had to leg press like this. That's about it. But
Maybe hack squats, leg press, and hack squats. That would be about it.
yeah, yeah. But
And
you would
even
think
then,
some
I'm sure just picking the weights up and loading them hurt your hand, right?
everything was annoying. So it's like sometimes the
Yep.
smallest things make the biggest difference. I actually want to ask you something because I've been like referring a lot of people to you that talk to me, and how many clients do you have about roughly?
I don't know to be specific. To make a rough estimate, I'd probably have to say, see, 50, probably around 60 to 70 total.
Okay, so knowing you can handle quite a bit more, right?
I can handle 100. Yeah. 100
Okay.
is like where I have to stop it. Like it's just at that point, I don't have a life.
Yes,
It was a
sir.
pain in the ass, but my dog went nuts. And I knew with as much as he was barking, there had to be a package. It
Yeah.
was. And he doesn't listen to me very well. So when I open the door, he takes off running. I freak the hell out because I don't know. I've had him like almost like 5 months now, but I still
Hmm.
can't predict what the hell he's going to do.
Hmm.
Mail lady freaked out because here comes like a pit bull charging him.
Yeah, yeah.
And he does. I will say this: he looks mean as shit. He's really not, but he looks mean.
Do you have pictures? Text me like a picture when you get a chance. I
I
don't think
can
I've
pick
seen
him
you
up
do it.
here.
That's too much work. I don't want you to tear bicep.
He'll come up here sooner or later. Like I'd be
All right,
quite
let's see.
surprised if he doesn't show himself. Dyson,
Let's
come
see.
here. Oh, Lordy, this is what I got.
There you go. Cute dog, cute dog.
Yeah,
I
when
gotta
he
get
when
one,
he
man.
barks, he looks mean.
Yeah.
Here's a fat boy.
I was
I don't
gonna
know if he is
mhm.
I don't know if he's a pocket bully with giantism or he's a regular American bully with dwarfism. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure which one because
One or the other.
he's either a really, really tiny American bully or he's a very oversized pocket bully. They
Yeah.
look very similar. I mean, most of the time you see pocket bullies, they're a little bit more muscular, but not always.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's called the extreme bullies. I mean, they're like they got a ground clearance of like 3 inches, but they're about this wide.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't be worried about that dog. He's going to pass out in about 100 yards.
Yeah, but 100%. But it kind of looks cool when the bodybuilder has a dog. 'Cause a lot of people's dogs, it starts to look like them. So when the bodybuilder
Yeah,
has a dog, it kind of looks like them. It's kind of cool. Yeah. No, I was gonna get my friend's dogs had kids, and I was gonna get a dog early on in prep, and I was kind of mad at myself that I didn't, but now I'm kind of like I don't think it would have been a good idea because once I hit 6 weeks out with a new dog,
yep.
it would have been rough. You know,
It's
I gotta
not
get.
fun. Like when you got to train a dog when you're in prep, that would suck. Just
Yeah,
to
that's
be fair,
horrible.
that would suck.
Did you have a dog in your competitive years?
No, no, I actually didn't. I got my first dog in 2017, like literally the year that I retired.
Oh wow.
It was one of those things, man. I had like a, what would you say? It was just the right place at the right time. I was in the market to find a pit bull, and just so happens my old college friend she was forced into a situation to have to get rid of one because of a moving circumstance. And I just kind of fell at the right place at the right time. He was like the ultimate dog. Like that's why I had so much problems when I lost him. Like he died of cancer in January. But like anything, like he obeyed every single command. Like he could read the room really good. This dog, I love Tyson, but man, he can't read the room worth of shit.
Yeah. Every dog has like their own personality and stuff like that. It's cool, but I'm definitely gonna get one. I gotta wait for the right time when I don't have too much going on, but definitely gotta wait a little longer. But something I definitely want to do. But
Yeah,
back to
they're great. Like I don't think I'll ever not have a dog in my house now.
yeah.
A lot of people don't like house dogs, like indoor dogs, but like
I
I'm
love
the
house dogs.
opposite. Like if I have to put the dog outside, I don't even want it.
Yeah. Would you mix pets like Paul, like having a cat and dog? That could be rough.
Well, I don't remember what his cat's name is, but the dog is
Flex with Flex. I think the
no,
cat is
no. He's
Flex.
got Boozer outside, the big German Shepherd. I'm trying to think what the little doodle is on the inside.
I don't know.
Whatever her
No.
name is.
The cat is Flex, I think, right? Isn't the cat Flex?
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
Uh,
That'd be cool.
but yeah, as long as they get along, like I'm not a cat fan. Like I don't have a problem with cats. It's just I've never had a desire to have one.
Mhm.
So I highly doubt I'll ever have like a mixed pet household. But I mean,
Yeah.
as long as they get along fine, I have a really big hunch that he will not get along with cats.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just
Good.
I don't see it.
See it happening. Yeah. Okay. Well, but back to coaching. Yeah, you said around the 60s, 70. Okay, so you can handle quite a bit more. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. And if anybody need to coach, go. The best place to reach you, IG.
Instagram, just have them reach out to me there.
Okay, perfect.
And I literally check it like 4 times a day. It doesn't mean I respond to everything 4 times a day, but I'm on there like 3 or 4 times
Check
a
it out.
day.
Okay, perfect.
I'm so lazy, like when it comes to posting, like I just don't post anything. Like I literally have enough content to post 10 slides every day. And I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't know why. I just don't.
It's like if you don't get into the routine of it, it's not gonna happen.
Yep.
It's just one of those things. You got to be doing it regularly, consistently, or it's not gonna happen at all.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at some stuff. I haven't been doing. I missed a couple of episodes of the Fit Nation podcast just because it's hard for me to talk in groups right now. One on
Yeah.
one, I'm good,
The
but groups,
focus.
I get overwhelmed and I just want to exit the situation. So I've been doing some more one on one stuff, which is it's cool. Okay, let's see. I did one with PJ the other day. I posted it today. PJ Braun.
Oh, a podcast with PJ?
Yeah, it was good. It
How's
was
he
slow.
doing? Like I know he's obviously the last few years have been a shit show in his life, but is he all right
To,
now?
to be honest, mentally, he seems like he's a lot better than when he went in. Like, and
Probably.
he admits it. It was like almost like therapy for him,
That's what I
which
was going to
is
say. Like, he probably had a lot of alone time and he probably cleaned himself up. Like, I'm not saying he was on drugs. I heard that he did a few
I
things here
think
and there.
I think he said he was on drugs.
Yeah.
I think he's talked about it openly. I mean, don't
South
quote me, but
Florida
I'm
is
pretty
just a
sure.
really small area. So, I mean, literally, if I pissed in the street, somebody's going to know it 200 miles away.
Yeah, yeah. But
So,
PJ gives no fucks.
yeah, he's
Like
pretty
like
transparent. I don't think he's going to deny anything.
before the podcast started, if I have like especially in his situation where there's legal stuff involved. Well, I usually just start the podcast, but I know with his situation where there's legal stuff involved, I'm like, hey man, just just don't be nervous to say anything. I have no issue editing anything out that could harm you legally or whatever. He's like, man, I'm an open book. I'll say whatever the fuck, you know. Well,
That,
obviously, there's some things he can't say, but
he didn't parole out, though, did he? He actually served the full sentence, right?
he did. He
He can
served
do
the whole
whatever he
sentence.
wants. He's not on
Yeah,
parole. He can do whatever.
but they don't let him fucking he can't basically he can't work. And I'm like, what good does that do? I thought you end up back in jail. Like he can't
What
do
do you mean
anything
he
with.
can't work? Did
Oh,
he
I'm
talk
sorry.
about this?
Yeah, so anything evolving, I think supplements, health, fitness, he can't be involved. So he can't do anything for Blackstone at all.
But doesn't he still own it?
Technically, I don't know if he can. Well, he is the owner, but he can't work. He can't do anything. He can't even talk to the employees, and it all sounds like insane. Like they have like a hard on for him, which is crazy because he seems to be like behaving really well. I mean, he's following. I don't know. I don't know what they want him to do.
So he definitely couldn't coach anyone.
At least not knowingly. Like I guess.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's like they're setting you up. This is supposed to help make you a better person for society, but they literally it's like they're trying to make him worse. What else would he fucking do? This is what he does for work.
That's oftentimes like, regardless of whatever the crime that people get caught for, like, you do your time and then society just shuns you afterwards, or the government puts restrictions on you afterwards. The only thing like that I actually agree with is like when somebody is like a sex offender,
But violent,
like you're shunned for life. I mean, at
I,
the same time, I agree with it. But
yeah,
like stuff like this, like, yeah, he made a mistake in the fitness world, but I mean, he's past
it's
that and he's done his time.
it's stupid. Okay, anything. Yeah, I think we talked about that too. Anything violent, fuck it. It is what it is. You did your thing. Now it is what it. But anything non-violent in my head, the goal should be rehab to make
Yeah.
sure this person doesn't do it again. That's it, and then make them a better person for society. If you're putting him in a position where you can make him worse, what happens now? He can't work. Now he goes back to drugs. Then he starts stealing shit just to end up back in jail. It's like that's stupid. Like that's not.
Or better yet, you got to realize a lot of times, like I don't believe in alimony in very many cases. I
Mhm.
think it's just a bullshit way for people to con money out of someone. But just think of this, like the reason why alimony was designed is like, let's say, like if I was married and I made like 10 million a year, wishful thinking,
Yeah.
right? On both of those right now. But I get divorced and say she doesn't work and I get divorced, but yet now she's getting like $2 million a year for like child support, like not child support, but alimony. It's like, what the
I don't know.
fuck? But the reason they do that is because you've accustomed to that
Of course.
lifestyle. And
Yeah.
when you strip someone of that, they're going to be very potentially suicidal or homicidal, right?
It can be dangerous. Yeah.
Well, you think with him, before he went in, he was balling, man. He was fucking killing money. And now that he's out, you're basically saying you can't have that. So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
going to fuck with his mental state as well by telling him something like that.
Yeah. That's not cool. They like saying, but
And if they
honestly,
wanted to be assholes, they could literally test every single batch of product that comes in and out of that facility.
mhm.
And I'm 100% confident he's not going to make that mistake again.
No, no, no. To be honest, even the original thing happening, see, but you can't justify things this way. But it's like so many companies did way more than that and never. got in any trouble.
Absolutely.
You
Well,
know,
one,
so
even though he had a good amount of money, it's nothing compared to like some people. You know, like
yeah,
I'm sure PJ had a few million, but like nothing compared to these guys. It's like $100 million. They can literally shoot someone in broad daylight and just buy their
mm,
way off.
yeah, yeah,
And I think that was the thing is like he didn't go in there and make plea deals. From what I understood, he didn't go in and make plea deals with them. He just said, "Yeah, fuck it, I did it. Give me the time. I'll serve it, and we'll start fresh." And I don't think they like that.
yeah, yeah. Well, in hindsight, he actually believes that okay, I don't know the ins and outs like super close, but I did hear him say that they actually could have done no jail time, possibly. But you know how it goes. You're doing the best you can with your counsel, and sometimes the things. But in hindsight, you're like, wow. So if we did this, we probably could have actually just went free. But
I
it's
wonder
hindsight.
if he would have done zero jail time. I wonder what the plea deal was. And I'm sure that's probably something he probably did sign an NDA on, something that it's not any of our business. We're just speculating. But like, I wonder what
Yeah,
they would have possibly, because they're going to want something in return. Like
yeah,
they don't give you a get out of jail free card just because they like you.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's probably, but I'm just thinking like, people who get caught with drugs or caught selling drugs, they can get a light sentence if they narc and they move up the
Of
ladder.
course.
Snitch on somebody, wear wire, whatever. But it's like he wasn't doing any of that. So
No,
I don't know.
no.
Like I don't know what information could they want from him that they don't already have.
I don't know, but they're pressing him hard, man. Um, Aaron got out a while back, years ago, no?
Like two or 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, he definitely cooperated. Okay, but here's the thing though. Look, if we're being completely honest here, I know everybody says, "Oh, this is bullshit, snitch." I'll never justify snitching, right? But most people will snitch. That's just the
Oh,
truth. So all this talk, all these people we like fake look up to in the movies, all these drug lords. Look at Frank Lucas, got the whole movie Denzel. Frank Lucas, he's not in jail right now because he fucking snitched a long time ago. He the snitch, but we still look up to him, idolize him, make movies out of him, right?
you remember?
All these all these mob bosses, they all flipped, or at least
Yeah,
90% of them flipped. But we look up to them and we're like,
you
wow,
know a
these are
rapper named
gangsters.
Stitches.
Yeah, yeah, no.
One of Stitches' songs, there's a verse. He says, "If you're going to do a crime, do it solo." And nobody can
Yeah,
tell on you if nobody knows you did it.
I like that. I like
Yeah, I mean,
that.
I think he's actually kind of the real deal. Like, I don't think he's gangster like that around shooting people, not like
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
shit. But like, he's been in trouble for some of the shit he talks about in the songs.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Listen, man, like snitching isn't something that's for like pussies. Like the biggest drug lords, killers, they snitch too, man. So you have a guy with a wife and kids, or I mean, it is what it is. So, like, the only person who should be mad is the person getting snitched on, not everybody else.
Correct.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I don't have I've never had my hands dirty in a department like that. But theoretically, if I did and I got caught, I would bite the bullet and just say, I'm the main guy, I'm the dealer, I'm everything. I'm the guy you want. Fuck off, give me my time. Because I'm thinking out loud in my head here. Like, I don't have a wife and I don't have kids, but like I have family. And I'm thinking
yeah,
like if it's like I wouldn't even do it to like somebody like that's a low time guy, but let's say you're working with a big time drug dealer and you go and you fuck that operation up. I'd be worried about while I'm locked up, what's going to happen to my family. I
exactly.
mean, just
Yeah.
theoretically, I'll put myself in the kingpin shoes. If I'm living this great life and I've got $200 million coming in, I'm like a boss, and all of a sudden the DEA comes and kicks my door down, I'm going to be trying to figure out why and who caused this.
Yeah, yeah,
And
of course.
somebody's going to come and see you if that's the case.
Okay, so it's funny you say that because, like, like the street code, right? or like the, whether it's the mob or gangsters or gang members, the whole non-snitch thing, they make it sound like a code. It's really a safety issue. That's all it is. It's not like this is my moral code. It's more like if I snitch on you, I may not be safe in jail or on the streets.
Yeah,
So I probably shouldn't snitch on you because that's actually worse off than me just going to jail at this point. Because
I'd rather just do the time, like just
you
do
know,
the jail time.
so
You're getting a little hardened in jail, I'm sure, but I'd rather just do that. I mean, there's too many things that can go wrong if you're going to do that. Not to mention, you're both wrong because like the guy you're snitching on, he did it better than you. He didn't get caught. That's the only
yeah,
difference. So
uh-huh.
because you were dumb and got caught doing what you're doing, I'm not saying PJ was dumb. Like his situation is totally different. We're talking about drugs
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
But like, like if I'm the dealer and you're you say the mule,
yeah, yeah.
whatever the hell you are, I don't know the terms, but like I'll be like, dude, I did it right. You fucked up, and because you fucked up, I got to pay the price. But like, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Oh, okay, okay. So I think that's even more important part to decipher. Who's snitching on who, right? If me and Compton, right? We're boys, selling a bunch of drugs and making about a bunch of money, and then let's say I get popped. You're not on the radar. I get popped, and they're like, "Oh, you're going down." And I'm like, "Okay, well, Compton does it too. Give me a better." That's fucked up.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing essentially. Like, I'll
What?
share a story. Go ahead. I was
But
going to
I'm
share
saying,
a real life story that I was
uh-oh.
almost involved in.
That's no. But I was saying there's situations like it happened with a rapper, this 6ix9ine, where the other guy, his co-defendant, was his enemy. He like had sex with his girlfriend. They hate each other. Then
Yeah,
I'm like, if you snitch on your enemy, who gives the fuck? Fuck that guy. He fucked my
yeah,
girl. Fuck that guy. So then I'm like, that's not really the same kind of snitching. If we're in it together and we're making all this money together, if we're winning together, then we got to lose together. We
yeah,
can't win together, and then if I get popped, I'll put you on blast. Either you say it or you look out for me. We got to make it mutually beneficial. I, I I already got caught, so I'm taking a rap. Now, can you help me out with commissary? Can you give me good lawyers? Something, but I wouldn't rat you out because I'm like, at least one of us got away. You know.
yeah, exactly. Like I had an issue. It's been many years back, so I'm not going to say too much, but I'm going to say enough to get my point across here. So if I like leave something out, I'm sure you and a lot of the viewers may understand why I'm leaving certain things out of the story. So I got connected with someone who provides supplements.
Mhm.
Fair
Mhm.
enough, right?
Fair enough.
And I got, I used this guy's stuff and it was legit. It was very good. And I stopped working with him and I went a different route. Fast forward like a year later or a year and a half later, I get a phone call. Now, by the way, I've never met this person.
Mhm.
So I get a phone call from someone that I consider a friend, and he calls me like he called me at a very fucking horrible time, and he knew it was a bad time too. I was 2 days out from the show, not the time to call and stress me out.
No,
But he
no.
calls me and like he just gets straight to the point. He's like, "Hey, have you been in trouble?" I said, "No." He's like, "Don't lie to me." He's like, "Have you been in trouble?" I was like, "What the fuck? What am I
What are you
supposed to be in
talking about?
trouble for? Like, dude, you got to elaborate." Like, and he said, "Have you been arrested?" And I said, "No." Like he's like probing me, like, "You promise you haven't?" I was like, "No, dude, I'm straight. What the fuck you talking about? Because you got me freaked out right now." So basically, it was a two-man. To my knowledge, it was a two-man operation, and they lived far apart from each other. One of them handled the hardware part of it, and then the other one was handling the distribution part of it. So the
Mm.
distributor gets caught. He rolled on his own fucking friend, but what he also did, he took the entire customer base, all of us, and fucking rolled on everyone. So he didn't even know half the people that he was rolling on. He's just like, "Here, take it all. Like, here's all I got." And the guy still did time. But all I know is I remember the main guy. me and him had multiple conversations before, and I actually to this day haven't spoken to him since. I don't know what sentence he got from it. I used to remember, but he did do some time. It's like 2, 3, 4 years. So he's long out now. But the reason my friend called me was apparently as soon as they got this guy and they arrested him and they started questioning him, they brought my name up. He thought that I was the one who talked, and it wasn't me. It was his own business partner who talked. So thought that was a little bit interesting. But yeah, my point is like this guy's throwing everybody under the bus to save his own ass.
Yeah. It's survival. That's human nature. We can't act
My
like it's not
hands was
real.
clean. I was just so happens I was I was the wrong place at the wrong time. I had
Yeah.
no affiliation with their operation at all. Otherwise, they would have brought me down too.
Yeah. Good. All right. Let's take a look at some I guess what you call it, current events. See what's going on in the world of fitness. I honestly haven't been following anything that close. Just I don't have the brain energy, and when you do this much cardio, there's days you don't even want to look at anything bodybuilding related. Like in the beginning of prep, it's like, let me watch some old Kevin Levrone videos while I do cardio. Wow, this is so fun. By this point, I'm like, I don't want to see people work out. I don't want to watch people work out. I just want to watch people like cook good food or fucking like a camping trip or fucking,
I
like
spent a lot of
a
time on
vlog.
Pinterest.
Huh? Yeah. I
Yeah,
want something to make
look
me
at
feel
food
good inside.
pages.
Yeah, or like a show that I used to watch when I was like at a fun time in my life that I used to, I don't know, to bring back those emotions that you don't have anymore, So I want to feel that warm feeling in my stomach, which I'm not getting it from bodybuilding right now. But
Yeah, when I get to a certain point, I mean, obviously, I started fishing heavily like 6 years ago, and I'm probably going to start doing it competitively, like tournaments next year,
oh shit,
basically
all right,
competitions.
I like
I
that.
like. I'm not going to be near the fisherman that I was a bodybuilder, but I like doing it. But anyways, there's been multiple times since I've retired that I've decided to basically put myself through a mini prep and just diet down. When I get to a certain point, fishing was not an interest of mine. Nothing was an interest of mine except rest and food. That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like I got to the
yeah,
point where the things I love, I didn't love it anymore.
yeah. To be honest, this is most of why I wasn't able to get in shape most of my like competitive career, because I loved bodybuilding for the changes and the day in, day out, the progression. But when it came to feeling like shit and training like shit, it just turned me off so much that I was like, I couldn't put as much. This is all hindsight. At the time, I felt like I was giving my all, right? Obviously, like every prep, I gave everything I had at the moment. But in hindsight, looking back, I hated that part of bodybuilding so much. It was really hard for me to push it the way that I now know I need to push it, as far as cardio and starving and shit like that. So
Yeah.
now it's separate. Now, off-season bodybuilding is one passion of mine. That's like, yeah, get big and strong. This is so fun. Reminds me why I got into it. And then prep bodybuilding is different now. Now it's like a different challenge. I don't even look at it as like the same, with the same emotion, right? It's not like, wow, this is so fun to work out. It's not fun to work out, in prep. It's more like this is like, it's like a job that I like, right? I don't want to say a job like a job that I hate. It feels more like a job, but a job that I still love, and I'm still very grateful for. So that's how I look at it now, and it's different now. Now it feels good. Like I'm doing cardio, and as tired as I am, I feel good about it. Like, yeah, I'm getting lean, So
I
this
feel
is
like
the
with me, the time that I enjoyed bodybuilding the most was always during the rebound. That's when I truly just enjoy it. Like I realized like this is why I did
it's
or
the best
do
thing ever.
what I do. I'm not like I'm hungry, but I'm not starving. I just have a really, really crazy appetite.
I love
And
it.
then like every day I'm seeing the progress that I want to see because it's rapid in that rebound phase.
I fucking love. Well, in fact, because it's fun to be hungry. It feels good to be hungry as long as you can eat. That's the
Yes, as
difference.
long as you're
Yeah,
getting a good amount of food in as well. It sucks when you're hungry and you're eating what you're eating.
exactly. But there's no better feeling waking up hungry as fuck. Oh my god, I'm hungry, and then you have a big bowl of oats, and then you have your eggs. That feels great to be hungry, right? Whereas off season, when you wake up and you're like, I'm not hungry, but I still have to eat that oatmeal. That's not as fun,
Yeah.
Or I'm hungry as fuck, but I have 40 grams of oats. It's not as fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, about 180 to 100 was about my cap. I could do 120, but at one point I got to trying 160 grams of oats dry. And I'm like, fuck, man, my whole day's ruined.
I'm surprised you didn't try to do like add cereal or muffins.
You know, as I've gotten older and I've learned my body more, probably know my body better now than I did back then. I could have been the guy who got away with eating a lot of other junk food and probably had a much more satisfying off season. But I was so hell bent that like my off season foods were going to be the exact same as my contest prep foods.
Yeah.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I got a call coming in, so my screen's off, but as long as you can still hear and see me, we're good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't know it still works, but yeah, it's working still. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got my fishing friend's calling me right now, so I'll have to figure out where this is at in the show and be like, "Hey, dude, you fucked up 30 minutes and 3 seconds in." But
No, with the junk food though, but it's like to cap it off, not like a Juan Morel. Let me just fill in all my macros with junk, but more like I'm doing 100 gram of oats. Fuck, I can't eat anymore. So now instead of 100 gram of oats, let me do the Ronnie Coleman oats, the flavored one, and I could do
oh no,
four.
he liked the grits.
Oh, I'm
Remember?
sorry. He liked the flavored grip packs. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
the
but
butter or garlic or something like that. I don't even remember.
somebody else did the I can't remember who did it now. Somebody else did the oatmeal package, but either way, it's like a lot less volume, a little higher in sugar, but it's still
Yeah,
oatmeal.
yeah, you can
Like
still get a lot of calories with it.
but
I did
only
do some bagels from time to time in the off season, and I would do this organic like brown rice pasta. And I have people do pasta, but I don't tell them to use the brown rice stuff. Like I have evolved from the way that I trained myself because I really
yeah.
just tortured the shit out of myself. I could have gotten the job done and looked better if I would have been a little bit more meat.
But it's like nobody. It's like you almost don't want to risk it, but then when you see it happening, because now I don't know how closely you follow these guys, but like Jordan Hutchinson, I'm watching him, and I'm watching Robin Strand, and they're all following the clean diets, but they're making it like they're making it taste good. Like they're doing so it's like they might have like crushed up apples on top of the oatmeal. I don't know, just little subtle stuff that might have a little bit of sugar, a little bit of artificial flavor, but they still
Do they
get
do that in
peeled
prep?
as full. They do it till show day, even show day, and like they're peeled to the bone. Obviously, this is not everybody that can do that. I
That's
wouldn't do
why me
that
and
to.
Robertson are working together. I didn't give him any apples.
No, but it's like what what can you get away with? But most of us aren't looking at it what we can get away with. I don't think you would look any different if you would have like got to off season, get to 100 oats and be like, let me do 60 grams of oats and a muffin. I
Oh,
think you would
I
have.
would have been just as good, yes. And I
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
felt less bloat in my stomach too from that.
yeah, yeah,
Like when it comes to like the rice, like I have guys do this. Like once I get to a certain threshold, like I'll start throwing other foods in it. Like bagels will be one, English muffins will be one.
mhm,
I have had a few people that I'll just use regular muffins with. If
yeah, yeah,
or I'll discuss like with them like, hey, do you prefer something else? Like once you get to that like limit where you're eating like 6,000 to 7,000 calories a day, like we don't need to worry about micronutrients now. It's more
yeah, yeah,
about macros at this point.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the only time I got up to like that high, maybe 7,000, was with you, and we had like bagels, pineapple in there. that might have been it. Bagel, but a lot of red meat too, I think. So yeah, it's like it's calorie dense, but at that point, same difference, man. Same difference.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull this back up.
Oh, when we first started, I saw that the photo is literally right when I signed on.
Uh,
It was Andrew and is it Natalia, the
Oh,
big Russian girl?
yeah, great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
people
see.
think I will debunk two theories on this.
Oh, that is Photoshop. Yeah, she's actually big.
It's not. I was gonna say it's not Photoshop. She's legitimately that fucking big. I have met her in person.
Yeah.
Um, I saw her in 2019, and she's a little bit bigger now than what she was back then. So she is very. Andrew probably didn't post it because it makes him look average. I wouldn't post it standing beside of her. She'd make me look like I
No,
don't
she
work out right now.
she probably posted it. No,
But
so I'll
she
follow
really
her.
is like legitimately that big. And the other myth, she is a woman too. She's not a transgender.
Why? What are people actually saying this kind of shit, bro?
Yeah,
I
that's the thing with like you have two things. You have your average Joes when they see female bodybuilders. That's usually the first question. Oh, they got a dick, or that's a man or a wig. It's not. But then when you take her, she's a little bit different exception to the rule because she's kind of bigger than everyone. Not kind of, she is bigger than everyone. The reason she
yeah
didn't win that show was because she was a little off on conditioning, and size don't win shows, conditioning does.
yeah she wasn't
And
feeling them.
but yeah, people were legitimately thinking that she is a man because we haven't really seen anyone with that freaky of proportions in them, maybe ever on a woman.
Yeah, people people
Yeah,
get carried away pretty fast, but she does that with everybody. So why all of a sudden when it's Andrew, like she remember last year she was next to Bonac, and it
yeah,
made everybody was like, wait, why does Bonac look like a teen bodybuilder? I'm like, no, she's just big. Like what do you want him to do? What the fuck? Bonac is
yeah. If
like
you look,
5'5".
she doesn't have waist filters on either. Like she's just a
Yeah,
fucking freak. I mean, she's crazy big.
I mean
She's in
I mean
front of him. She is getting. She's not bigger than Andrew. She's
no,
out
but
angling it, but she is big.
the fact that this is even a conversation shows how big she is. But
Yeah.
she looks feminine. Like obviously she has a bunch of makeup on, but like she looks pretty feminine unless she's hiding all the side effects somehow
Well,
with the weight.
I can say I didn't have a conversation or engage with her, but like I've heard her voice on Instagram. I mean, she
I,
does have a
I did
slightly
too.
deepened voice. As far as everything else goes, I mean, if you look at her face, I can tell you she's got some filler in her face. I can see that myself, which
Smart.
shit, we got girls who've never been to the gym ever, and they put filler. I mean, that's just part of society nowadays. So like I'm not even gonna knock her on that.
Yeah, well, shout out
I just wish she
Amazonka.
would get like crazy hard, like just freaky hard. Because if she could get into that level of conditioning and show up, like who's gonna beat her?
Well, we just talked about that. From what she posts and how big she is, I honestly think she just enjoys lifting heavy
She
and being big
she
as
just
fuck.
enjoys her life.
You know, I used to think that was a bad thing, but as you get older, you're like, bro, why the fuck would I be miserable if I don't enjoy something? Why else
Correct.
would you? Uh, are you gonna bodybuild for money? For fame? Like, if you want to make money, there's so many other better things you should be doing. If you want to be famous, go do TikTok. Some of these kids are blowing up. Literally, I just saw a video. In 3 months, the guy is like in the millions and making a bunch of money. Go do TikTok. So if you're gonna bodybuild, the only reason would be passion because you love it. So if you're
Where does the
miserable,
money come from? Like on like sponsors, endorsements, stuff like that?
yeah, they'll pay you. They'll actually TikTok will pay you, but with the ads, man, it can get lucrative. It took me a while to realize. I used to always think it was a joke. Like even with the codes and stuff, discount codes, I'm like, this is a joke. Like you can't make any real money. You're getting 15%. And I guess now with the podcast, I'm getting more traction, and I'm like, whoa, oh, okay. And I don't have a lot of followers, like in relation to like maybe the average person I do, but not compared to like I don't know, pro bodybuilders or like big
Yeah.
fitness people. But I'm definitely getting some good kickback. So I would imagine if you had 1 million followers, the
Yeah, that's
kickback.
different. I mean, guys like Bumstead, when he posts a video, each video is probably worth $10,000 or
Yeah, but
more.
you know what? Now that I'm kind of doing it, I think they make a lot more than we thought they were making.
Well, keep in mind, Jake Paul supposedly got rich off of YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, they were extremely rich off of YouTube. Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast is so rich he doesn't even keep the money from YouTube anymore. He's too rich to even care about the money.
Is that where
Like,
he gets it from? Is YouTube?
well, I would assume he had some money to begin with because that quality of videos was so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can't. If we're talking about maybe a month, we're talking about millions a month, like like
Wow.
multi-million dollars a month, basically. At this point, YouTube might as well just stop going by the algorithm and just speak to him on the phone and just give him a salary at this point because
Yeah.
he's gonna put them out of business, you know. So now I'm watching closer. I'm like, I think these people are making way more money than we think they are. Don't listen to the bullshit. Oh, you don't get any real money from YouTube anymore. Nah, people are making a lot of fucking money, you know. So it's one of those things. But anyway, yeah, if you're gonna bodybuild, do it for passion. I could be making more money if I wasn't in prep right now because I'm dropping the ball on a lot of marketing. But
Oh,
it's something I want, so it's something I'm gonna do. So my whole point is that do it because you love it, and don't let anybody tell you that you should or shouldn't. You should only be doing exactly what you want, you know, as far as bodybuilding.
no, I
Because
agree with you 100% on that.
yeah, because if not a good investment, unless if you really love something, I think you're gonna follow it. Like you didn't enter this to make money, but you're so passionate about it, the money's gonna come just because you
Yeah.
actually you love it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I never, even when I turned pro, I never thought I would be in a position like where I ended up at then and where I'm at now. You know, I started coaching a few people when I was younger, and I was like, well, this will be my money. And then, you know, I won a pro show, and that literally changed my life, everything I know moving forward.
It's wild how things could change so fast.
Yeah, I was kind of like an overnight sensation with that. You know, I have so many people. It's like, wow, I've had not over the years, or sorry, not at once, but over the years, I've had so many people ask me, you know, how do you make money in bodybuilding? I'm like, look, the way I made it is probably not going to be the way you're going to make it. Like it's
Yeah.
there, but you're going to have to reach out for it in different ways. Like I had, I think, 1,400 followers when I got like a 5-figure contract.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all I had was like 14. It was less than 2,000 followers,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was because, again, I was in a different era. Following was not that important back then.
And everybody's journey is going to be different. You can't ask that kind of question that like, how do you make money? But that's like, okay, how do I get rich? Like, I don't know. Like there's a lot of different ways. It's what way is going to work for you? That's just something for you to find out. You know, you
Yeah,
can't.
I mean, today, I mean, you're not nobody's going to offer you 10 grand a month. Well, when I said 5 figures, I meant 5 figures a month, not 5 figures yearly. So
Yeah.
I was in the 6 figures yearly with my contracts. But like those days, I feel like are gone unless you're like maybe in the top five at the Olympia. But if you are in that top five, chances are you've got social media going for you anyway. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of it's already there.
Well, and then the truth is that if you're building your own platform up, you don't you don't need any contract.
Yes.
You think Sam Sulek needs a contract from anybody? No. He's doing
Yeah,
this
I
stuff
think
with
with him, like that guy, I hope he keeps milking it, to be honest. I mean, I hope he doesn't compete because if he competes, that's going to slow him down so much.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I really, and I'm not picking on the kid. Like, he's got a good physique, but it's not mind blowing by any means. Like,
yeah,
he goes to a regional show, he could potentially lose at a regional level show.
yeah.
And that's going to fucking kill his brand if he did. And
Yeah,
I know a
about
lot of people think
100%.
I'm crazy for that, but he was bragging about having 19-inch arms. And I'm not sitting here saying that that's small arms, but I'm retired and I haven't even fucking been to the gym in like 2.5 weeks because of my shoulder all screwed up again. And I half-ass it, and my arms are still over 20. Like they're at 20 and a half cold. So I'm just saying, he's not that big. He's got a decent physique, and he's got a hell of a following. He should just keep rolling, keep doing exactly what he's doing. He can be set up for life.
I mean, honestly, uh, he's a very smart kid. So I believe that he can put himself in a position right now that he will be set for life, like literally within the
Yes.
year, like at this moment. Yeah. So
Do you think it within the year?
yeah,
I mean,
with the
he
amount
can
of
do
money
it
he's
before
making.
his name burns out. That's for sure. Because I mean, I really don't think in 15 years from now that we'll be talking about him as much. Like
We
he was
won't.
kind of like an overnight sensation, and considering he's not done anything on stage, I do think he'll burn out. Like his name will kind of fade in due time. But if he's smart and he capitalizes, dude, he could be a multimillionaire from this. I mean,
Oh,
would
oh,
I rather have my
wait,
titles?
you say he can be a multimillionaire?
I think he can be a multi. He probably already is a multimillionaire.
He makes millions every month. He makes millions. Not
Billions a month.
he makes millions a month, not a year. Per month, he makes millions. So he's been in that category a long time ago.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, yeah. So if I could trade all my trophies and all my shows and 21 through 4 inch arms for his 19-inch arms and millions of dollars, I'm fucking trading.
Of course. Well, you gotta keep in mind these views accumulate over time. He
Yeah,
doesn't post. He doesn't post once a week. He posts every single day.
yeah.
Every video within a day or two is 500K. Most of them end up in millions. So as this month is passing, these old views are accumulating.
Yes.
So we're talking about millions a day. We're talking about as far as views. And,
I
and
always like when you go to Google and you type in like someone's net worth,
uh-huh.
it's so wrong.
It's way off. Yeah, it's way
Like if
off.
I type in Sam Sulek net worth, it says 2 million. I'm like, I think it's more than two
Yeah.
million.
That well, dude, they also go. They're gonna be a little bit held back, but still, it's gonna be way off, which is good for him. I don't think anybody needs to know how much he makes it right now.
No, I agree. I don't think someone's net worth or salary should ever be public, regardless of who you are, because I feel like that puts you at a risk. Like
Yeah, yeah,
shit can happen to you if you have money and people know about it, the wrong people.
exactly. If you Google Jay Cutler or Hani, that's way off as well. They have more money than that.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, they got more money, and I'm sure those Google numbers are way the hell off on that
That's what.
too.
Yeah,
Like I think I saw one that said Jay was worth like 8 million. I'm like, yeah, he probably made that in the last 6 months.
exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I wouldn't want that to be public knowledge. Like I would not want to be a billionaire. Like I've joked with people, and I said like, if I would ever hit the lottery, you will never see this face ever again. Never. Because
Yeah.
the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to get fucking plastic surgery and change my name. That way nobody knows me. I'm not even joking at all. Like, I'm going to change everything about me because I don't want to fucking be known. Like, there's people out there that will come for you in cases like that. It's not
Yeah.
often, but
I never
bad
heard
news
that, but
for them. I ain't giving the money. I ain't signing it over. I ain't transferring it. So if you gonna come at me for that, you just go ahead and fucking shoot me because I ain't giving it to you.
I've never heard anybody say that, but that's a great idea. Lose like 40 pounds, fucking grow a big ass beard, and dye your hair black, and get like you said, get facial surgery, and just get out of here. Move
I would
somewhere.
do. Yeah, I would grow the beard, and I probably even and make the beard black.
Yeah.
I put veneers in, and even if I just did veneers, that would change everything.
Oh, it would change a
Like it
lot.
changes
Yeah.
it changes everything how you look. I'd get a hair transplant since I'm getting a little bit shallow up top. Get that shit taken care of. Yeah, I'd be good. I can pull that shit
Oh,
off.
oh man, we got to talk about the hair transplant stuff. There's a really good deal that we can all get that done with the trip and everything for a very fucking low price. Like scarily
Is it
low.
turkey?
It is turkey, but
Is it now?
no, it's a different company, but a
Okay.
similar. To be honest, most of the companies are kind of similar. I just my thing is I have to know somebody personally, a personal friend who's done it, just to make sure because you hear these things and you go and you want to make sure it's good as well. You don't want to say let me get dirt cheap and then nothing happens. That's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this guy hairline was completely gone. He has a full head of long hair now. Long hair, like luscious long hair. And I'm like, holy fuck. And it looked like shit. When he first got it done, I was like, oh no, I think they fucked it up. There's no way. Nothing was happening. It was just fucking a fucked up hairline
I think
with a
it takes
fucking
like
line.
1 to 2 years before it's like fully matured.
Now that it's fully matured, it looks 10 times better than it did before. And I'm like, and that's all you paid? Holy fuck. So
I'm
we're gonna
assuming, well, we won't even talk about prices here. We'll do that
who?
off the air.
Oh yeah, but no, we're not good to get the prices. We got to go first. Get that. We got to use it first before everybody starts going. But
Yeah.
we're gonna come back with full heads of hair. So I know
Yours
Joe and
don't look
Paul.
bad though. Like if you put your head down, yours, I mean,
I got my
it
headline.
may
It
have
just
went back a little bit, but at least it's still straight across. My shit's not straight across. Like I've got a widow's peak going on. I mean, at least I
I,
don't have anything. I don't have any problems back here in the center. Like guys have that shiny bald head in the middle.
that's crucial because you need like double the grafts if you
Yeah,
have
you
the
got to
a
take it from
big.
back here to put it in the front.
I don't. Yeah, for me, I'm just gonna put it here. They're gonna probably laugh at me like you have long hair, bro. What the fuck are you talking about doing? But I'd rather do it now. But yeah, Joe and Paul, they still have their hair too. But you see it every year, a little thinner. So
With Paul, I mean, he's over 40. I mean,
yeah,
it
that's pretty
has
good.
thinned. I'll say this: it's gotten thinner since I've worked with him, and so is Joe's since I've been
That's
working with Joe. I mean, it's just like a bodybuilder thing. I think you have certain people who can beat it, and I think I was one of them that should have beaten it because the PEDs did not actually cause me to lose the hair.
yeah,
I had great hair when I was competing, and then when I
yeah.
stopped competing, it started falling out. But it was thyroid related, and I didn't know. I had a doctor in
Hyper.
2017 actually. He looked at me, didn't do any tests, looked at me. It was the guy I got my TRT from. I actually asked him. I was like, "Hey, can we check my thyroid? I'm losing a lot of hair." And his first thing came up. He goes, "It's because you're on testosterone." I said, "Doc, in all due respect, I said I've been on testosterone since I was fucking 20, off and
Yeah,
on." And then it was all at one point. It was like literally cycle cruise, cycle cruise. I was like, "This is not something new to me." He goes, "Yeah, but it takes time." And I'm like, I'm
yeah.
trying
Come
to
on.
not be a dick to the guy. And I was like, "Oh, what about Trend? What about Masteron? What about Winstraw? What about Primo?" And he looks and he goes, "I don't know what that is." I'm like, "Well, fucking of course you don't." Like I took all
Exactly.
that. I didn't have any problems with that either. But he told me, he said, "I can tell by your composition and your voice." I don't know what that has to do with it. He said, "I can tell by your physical composition and your voice that your thyroid is fine." Obviously, I didn't take that shit as an answer. And I didn't know what to do, though. I let it go on for like 3 years before I finally just decided to do something myself. Otherwise, I would be bald right now.
Wait, your thyroid is hyperactive or hypo?
Hypo.
Really?
Surprisingly, I still stay rather lean with a
that's
hypothyroid.
that's so strange. Yeah.
My T3 and T4 levels were like, I don't remember the reference range right off, but I was like literally like zero point 0.1 from being low. Like, so I was like borderline, like not bad, but it's like imagine having a testosterone level of like 150. Like, yeah, you got some tests, but it ain't worth the shit.
Yeah. Damn.
So
Yeah.
I just
That's
started doing my own thing with it and kind of just self medicated and got my number where it needs to be. The TSH is right. The T3, T4s look good. So is my hair now.
did you notice that every prep you did, you lost the most hair during prep?
No, I never lost any in prep.
No. So okay, so it's because my test is higher off season, and then it usually comes down on prep, right? But prep, I don't think it's test related, right? But every prep, I noticed that's when my hair thins. Off season, my hair is like super thick. You know,
Yeah, I mean, in prep, I mean, it's kind of the same with women too. But when the DHT starts kicking in, when we start throwing Proviron, Trend can kind of mess with it. But I think your Proviron and your Masteron, and I think Winstraw has a big impact on it, and obviously Test does as well. But I think the bigger ones is the two that I just mentioned. The Proviron and the Masteron, I think, have the biggest role on hair loss. That's my opinion.
yeah, yeah. I know that with Joe too. I only noticed Joe hairline looks a little thinner on prep. Off season, he looks pretty full. Okay.
I don't know if I've studied it that much. I mean, I know Joe's has kind of receded back a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah, don't. We can't talk about it too much. He's gonna get nervous. You make it. Don't make Joe nervous. But hey, Joe, don't worry. If you're watching, we all going to Turkey. It's gonna be. I mean,
His hair
anybody
looks
who
fine
wants,
right now.
huh?
I said his hair looks fine. He's doing great with life, so I wouldn't
Exactly.
let it bother me.
So it's four of us so far. Anybody wants to join? Let us. Stu isn't gonna join. Stu got Ken. Ken is good. Zayd. No, Zayd got a
Yeah,
full head
Stu
of
don't
hair.
need no more hair. He's got a fucking great head of hair.
He needs less hair. I think that's it. I think it's just us four. We got to make a trip. Maybe like early December, and then we'll take that end of year to hibernate and not go out with a fucked up scalp and hibernate a little bit until
Yeah, because
January.
you got to shave it off for a little while.
Yeah, yeah. At least that area. Like I don't have to cut all my hair, but honestly, I'm probably gonna cut all my hair because it's gonna look
I
stupid.
would. I
Stupid.
mean,
I
you got
can
to
look
think you
stupid
don't
as
want
fuck.
the front bald and have hair in the back. I mean, that's
Bonak did it, and he just wore hats and then it grew back in. I
well,
didn't even know he did
Bonak's
something.
actual his dreads are real though, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. No, but
I
I'm saying
remember.
he got the front done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't want to cut. If those dreads are real, you don't want to cut that
No,
off.
he don't
So
want to. He don't want to cut it
yeah,
off. Yeah,
I
yeah,
would have done the same thing in his case. I just know
yeah.
they're real because I remember. Remember when Kai slapped Phil with the dreadlocks?
Yeah, Kylie wasn't real. Kylie wasn't
Kai's
real.
wasn't real, but I remember. I don't know if it was the year I did the Olympia. I think it was. I may be wrong, but I think it was. Kai wasn't there, and you know how Bob likes to instigate the arguments and heat at the Olympia. Like that's.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
swear, I think that's like part of his job is to just create some controversy.
I think he
But
likes
yeah,
to see.
Phil, something about there was some topic about if Bonnet slaps you in the face with his hair, and Phil was really chill about it, but he had to take a shot at Kai. He's
Oh,
like, "Oh no, I go fuck with him." He goes, "His is actually real."
yeah,
Like just taking a
yeah.
poke at Kai. But yeah, I wouldn't cut that shit off because that's probably like 15 years in the making.
Yeah, it's weird. You get like a weird attachment because, like, honestly, like, in prep, you start getting like weird. You want to do shit. Every prep, I'm like, I'm gonna cut my hair. Then I'm like, no, that's a lot of, that's a lot of time. I mean, there's people who cut it and keep it, and then one day I want it back, and they'll sew it back on. They'll sew it back on
Oh,
like
the dreads.
yeah, and they'll sew it back on the head. That's a bit extra, but I mean, it's better than just getting fake extensions, I guess, right? Technically, because
Yeah,
you're here, but I don't know. That's a bit much. Kai, I mean, at this point, it is Kai. It got to be Kai's real hair. At this point, he had it for 10 years.
I
If he
would
had
say. Yeah,
half of it,
I feel like it's real. I don't know for. I mean, I'm not going to ask him. It's none of my business. But it could have just been Phil taking a shot at him too, because back then they hated each other.
oh no, Kai admitted it was fake. He admitted that he got extensions on it before. Which
Yeah,
is strange. Yeah, he did admit it actually. I saw him admit it on like a talk show or something. Somebody asked.
yeah. I don't see any problem if anybody wants to do it. Anybody wants to wear a toupee, you want to have extensions, whatever. I don't see no problem. If it makes people happy, let them do what they want to do.
Be happy. Oh, what the fuck? What am I doing? Wait, what do you see right now?
Oh, it's like the Chicago Pro lineup.
Okay, so why is this up?
Have you have you ever looked to see if you could find a back shot of Mohamed Foda?
Yo, no, I think we tried it on a podcast and none of us could find it. We were like, how can we? But then, the fucking part is, I think he has a good back. From the last show I remember he had a good back, but he won't post anything back related, right?
See, I know if this guy, just because of, I mean, I would say it's good. You can see his lats from here. So, like, it's not a problem. I'm just thinking from a conditioning standpoint, though. That's what kind of concerns
Oh,
me with him.
okay. I
Like
see where you're getting at.
if he is on track with conditioning, he's light years ahead of everyone else. Like this guy could do some major damage, but I look at it this way: like when you get to a certain level of conditioning, most people like to take pride in that. Like that's
Yeah,
something that's rare. Like look at Brent Swanson. Brent gets like inside out, and Brent may not have the most aesthetic physique, but he brags about that conditioning. Like you can see it in all his photos. So like when I would get in shape, I posted back shots because I was proud of that.
yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
not posting any back shots ever. Like I Googled his name and typed
That's tr-
Mohamed Foda back double bicep. It's not
oh,
even
oh,
on.
we got
Oh,
one.
yeah, we
Oh,
do have one.
but this is not that close to the show. No, this was when. Oh, I feel like this is 35 weeks ago.
But even
This
still, that
before
was Romania
Romania.
when he turned pro. That was probably a couple of days out, if I had to guess.
Well, I think he's leaning too far back because I see his fucking chest. I can see his entire chest from the back somehow, but it looks like he has back, but it's a
Unless
little
he's got a
high.
really tall guy doing the photography.
Yeah, it looks on the high side, but I think it's the angle. But like you said, his glutes are in, but in compared to like some of these other athletes at the show, it's not going to be as in.
I don't know, man. Like if he can replicate, so like even when I went to NPC News Online, wait a minute, what was that Hani said? You were crying that you had no cuts, remember? So did Hani help him get his pro card? Because I know they were together for a while.
Hani was his coach for the last few years. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So yeah, he's with boss of Outlaw now, Stefan. I don't know if that
Yeah.
was a good move or not a good move, but whatever. So I think realistically, if he can bring that level of conditioning, I've never seen that photo before. I guess I just didn't scroll through his slides. I think his shape and structure will be enough to put him up there. So I originally done a prediction saying he's going to be like third through fifth, but I don't know, man. If he's in shape, I don't know who can beat him.
You talking about for Chicago?
Yeah,
Yeah, man, bro. He has too many tools. Like honestly, even if he's not beating the top guys on condition, if he's close, like anywhere close, I think
that's
he
what I'm
still
saying.
gets them. Yeah, I think he
That's
still
what I'm
gets them.
saying. Even if he's not the most conditioned guy there, as long as he's remotely in shape.
He'll get them.
I
Yeah.
don't know this guy, the Bednar guy. I don't know him. There was one guy on here, Vladislav or whatever. He's like the second one from the end. He
Oh,
gets pretty
Vlad there.
nasty.
Vlad gets peeled. Like to be honest, now that I look at it, a lot of these guys, Robin, bro, Robin was so peeled. They were the picture he put. Let me see if I can pull it up. Where's Robin Strand? Where's
Oh,
Robin?
Robin can get in shape. I worked with Robin, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. He
A
did
while
tell me.
back.
Robin was so peeled. He had his trunks pulled in. He was peeled to his ass crack. There was not one section of his glutes that weren't striated all the way
Oh, I know.
in the
He
bikini.
gets fat free, literally.
Holy fuck! So that's the only thing that he needs to be scared of because Mo, as good as he is, if he looks like the odd man out and everybody looks in that lineup is peeled, right? If Robin peeled, Vlad is crazy peeled. Felix, I don't know if you've seen Felix. Felix is fucking peeled.
I actually like the guy's physique. He won North Americans a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. Felix is dangerous as fuck. How do you?
I mean,
Where's
realistically, I'm going to say the first call out's probably going to be that Vlad guy, Jordan. Oh, I have to go back to it in a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're good. You're good.
yeah. You
I'm
said
going to call
Vlad.
him, yeah, Vlad, Jordan, Mohammed, Nathan, and Tim.
I could see that. I,
I
I
mean,
don't.
I want to sit here and say that Hassan's going to be in it, but that dude's just disappointing.
No, no.
He's been
I don't think.
disappointing. He's been disappointing for years. I mean, I know why. I mean, when you go through that many coaches, it ain't the coach, it's you. And I've heard my
Yeah.
stories and I can't back it up. But like, apparently he likes to be like Flex Wheeler, sneaks a meal in or two here and there on his way from home and the gym. That's what I've
Well,
heard. So, and
these
it
people
makes
are
sense.
these people are talented. If I did that, I would literally be 290. I would be off season. Like you would literally see, you would be like, Beatty, what the fuck? You would be like, Beatty, you gained 20 pounds. What the fuck happened? Like,
That's the thing, though. Like, imagine being that good that you can still fucking win shows and you can still place top five in shows, and you don't even you don't. There's more days you're off your diet than you are on your diet,
yeah, yeah.
and you still. I mean, just think about what he could have done. I do think his physique is actually starting to go backwards. I think because he's not young anymore. He's got to be upper 30s. I think he's starting to go backwards. I think even if he nails it now, we're not going to ever see what his true potential was.
Hassan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim's getting better and better. Obviously Tim got second at Vancouver this past weekend, but completely different lineup. Like, so I don't see him beating I don't see Tim beating Nathan Epler, to be fair. Nathan can get really, really hard too. Nathan's a hard working guy. Like, I'll say, I expect him to be no lower than like third or fourth.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I feel like right now, if you're peeled and you have good shape, you're gonna be a front runner. Like because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Robin is a big guy and he's gonna be peeled, but I feel like they would put like a Nathan in front of him because of the shape.
Yes, and that's the
You
thing.
know.
Nathan has better shape, and he would be. I think Nathan and Robin would be very comparable as far as conditioning. I think Robin can beat him on conditioning,
Mhm.
but I think Nathan will beat him as far as a bodybuilder just due to his genetics and shape.
Yeah, it's like he's not really big, but on stage he's not gonna look small. They're
No,
like,
like when he competed as a 212, I didn't like it at first. I was like, man, what's the hype on the guy? Like, I don't understand. But when he stands next to people, like, he doesn't have anything that just says, holy shit, wow, that guy's crazy. But he's complete. You look at it from like, I don't see a lagging body part. I don't see any areas that just stand out. Like, there's no tears, no injuries. He's in shape. His waist is in. His stomach looks good. He's got a good V taper. I I have nothing I can knock him on. Like, he
even
doesn't have, again, he doesn't have a wow factor. It's like, holy shit. But when he
yeah.
stands next to people, he exposes them because he is complete.
Even his condition is balanced. Like he's not like, oh, he's hard in the abs and quads, but his glutes are softer and
Yeah,
everything.
he's front to back.
Now, yeah, you said he don't have any freak factor. Now, what one thing I notice is when you have a balanced guy like this and they continue to grow, eventually when they have all the muscle
It
they
becomes a
need,
freak.
they look like a freak. So it's funny with you yourself, Compton. I remember you early on, it was like, wow, he's so balanced, nice waist. But it's like he's not freaky. And then literally, like I swear the following year, just another 10, 15 pounds. I'm like, wait,
Makes a
now
big
that
difference.
now that same balance that made you not freaky with 20 pounds, now you look like a complete freak because you're like,
And that
you
would be
have
the
all
same with Nathan, too, I think. This is
agreed.
his first year in the Open. I give him 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years. I would say
Yeah.
10 to 15 more pounds. He would have like a freak factor.
Yeah. You remember, okay, Derek Lunsford, he wins the USA. I'm like, they gave it to the light heavy. I'm looking, I'm like, I don't see anything that stands
Small,
out.
but potential in shape,
Yeah, I was like,
not
oh,
freaky.
I'm like, his glutes are pretty thin skinned, nice waist, but he's kind of small. He does the 212. I'm like, wow, he beat those guys. I'm like, well, I guess he has better shape, but he's a little undersized. I don't know how he beat them. Cool. Whoa, top five. And then he slowly gains muscle, and now he's a fucking complete freak, you know? So it's
Yep.
like that same proportion, supersize Sean Clarita, the same proportion. Nah, he's balanced, nothing special. So yeah, I think Nathan is gonna. Oh, Jordan Hutchinson. It's starting to happen
Jordan
now.
Hudson.
But you look at Jordan now and you're like, huh? He's starting to get a little bit of that freakiness that I didn't think he had in him, because he was so balanced. Now he's starting to get. This is starting to get freaky to me.
Yeah, he's starting to improve a lot. I see him in the top five. Like he's in shape and he's got size to go with it.
Yeah, that's very impressive. He's like about my height as well, and that's good muscle. This is about. I think
I've
he's
had
in
a
the
couple interactions with him. He seems like a pretty cool guy.
super. I gotta get y'all on at the same time. Two Justins.
All right.
I'm
Wait,
sorry, Jordan.
two
It's Jordan.
J's.
I keep calling him Justin. I always do that. But yeah,
You know who he
so
reminds me of in this photo? Just look at his face.
I know you're gonna say. You're probably gonna say either Regan or Ian.
No, I was going to say Regan. It's because of the
Oh, okay.
beard. I don't think their faces are similar, but like the body, I mean, actually, I wouldn't say that their body type is that much different as well on this pose.
The joke is like he's Regan with like Ian conditioning, basically.
If I look like go way back here and just glance at that, I would probably assume that that was legit Regan.
When I'm talking to him on a podcast, he comes on a podcast quite a bit. Honestly, sometimes I forget it's not Regan. Like he actually reminds me of Regan. Like even you know how like they're really like nice guys, soft spoken, but not like soft. They're not like a pushover, but they're just like really calm,
Yeah.
nice. So he gives me that same Regan vibe, just positive. Like I don't know. He's like he's really he keeps his hair cut and everything. Always he really just reminds me of Regan in a lot of ways. But now looking at him, shit, he might, with all due respect, he might pass Regan up at this point if he keeps doing this.
I think in
Eventually,
time he can because we haven't seen Reagan make big drastic improvements. I mean, I understand now he's got a lot on his plate this year. So, like, if Regan don't make improvements or if he doesn't show up the way people expect, he has a valid fucking excuse this time. He's got a kid coming. You knew that, right?
yeah,
I
I
didn't know
heard.
that about him. I didn't actually had no idea, but when I was with Team HD, the girl who was kind of managing the coaches and sending clients and telling me what was going on, it was Brittany, and I never connected the dots that that's Reagan's girl. I didn't know.
Oh, I didn't realize. I've seen her in videos, but I didn't even realize that was her. I think I was with Team HG around the same time you were with them,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, they just recently abolished like the coaching section of the company.
Oh, you mean? Oh no, I was never with the coach. Oh, I didn't know you
Yeah.
meant Team HG coach. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Dorian actually offered me like we didn't get into the logistics of it. I actually shot him down because I wanted to be honest about it.
Mhm.
Like he thought about like when they came on, he's like, "We'd love to have you as a coach and also as a sponsor or an endorsed athlete." And I thought to myself, I was like, I have a good connection here. Like I like the guy, and he seems like a good guy. I was like, if I sit here, like if you look at my Instagram following, like yeah, we want to sponsor, we want to pay this guy to promote a product, but at the end of the day, I'm a shitty salesman. Like I have no like I don't have a good turnover rate when it comes to that. So it's like I could have probably hyped it and said, "Hey, I'll do it for $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, whatever." And I think he probably would have given it to me, but he's going to soon see that there's no return for that. And then I
Yeah,
feel like that may or may not cause like hard feelings. So I was just like, "Hey, man, like just don't worry about the sponsorship." I could have went with the easy money and took it, but I didn't. I feel like I did the more ethical thing and say, "Hey, look, you can give me the money, but I'm probably not going to put any money back in your pocket for doing it." So
that's a good idea. Yeah.
I didn't want to burn the bridge. It was like I'd rather just stay on board with the team. I'd rather earn the money than to have it given to me. So that's why I chose the coaching side of it. And at the
I
same
don't.
time, I do kind of miss, and I hate to say this, I never thought I would say this, especially at my age now. I kind of fucking miss running expos.
Yeah.
Like just meeting people. Like, of course, I'm bipolar with this because one day I wake up out of bed and I'm like, fuck humans, fuck society, let them all die. And then the next day I'm like, I love being around people. But like I always
Yeah.
liked it at expos. I think the reason I hate people is I'm around the wrong people half the time.
Boom.
When
Yeah,
I'm around
you
like
said it.
my people, I'm like the most calm, pleasant people. But when I meet some jackass in Walmart, I immediately just want to strangle them.
It's crazy you say that because we all kind of felt like that for a while. And within these past couple of years that we all been connecting with the podcast and just in general making an effort to connect. Now, like me and all my bodybuilders, like we love going to expos and meeting people. Whereas I used to get anxiety, like I don't, or the LA Fit Expo, I'm like, "Ah, no, I'm not gonna go. Am I gonna go to Olympia? No. Now I'm like, I'm enjoying it because I'm around my people, and we're like meeting like-minded people and having a good time, you know. And I feel like even for you, like this year, you're like, yeah, fuck it, let's, you know, let me go, let me come out, enjoy myself, and I feel like you're gonna have a good time as well, you know, because it's
Yeah,
the
I
right
never
setting.
really mingled much before. I think back then when I was competing, I did get a little burned out because it was almost like an every. I didn't do an expo every weekend, but like between expos, guest posings, seminars, it was getting. It was a job, which understandably, but like it was getting to the point where I was starting to get burned out on it. Like
For
I
sure.
enjoyed it, but I just got to the point where I was like, man, enough's enough.
It's too much, yeah. Well,
I mean, I will
this
say
year,
this: when you're at an expo, I mean, all my pictures online. I always have the same classic pose. I take pictures, I get beside of them. You know, you hit like a shot, you go on. Like the first time I ran an expo, I was like, man, my fucking arm is sore because I've been flexing all day taking pictures.
uh, oh well, I forgot. I haven't done an expo where I'm like stuck at a particular booth. That would be more taxing. When I go to expos, like me and my boys are like walking around meeting people.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna find that a lot more fun.
Oh,
If you,
absolutely. The
yeah.
spectators are a hell of a lot funner than running the show.
So in Texas, I don't know if they have an expo. They probably do something close to it, if not a big
Yeah.
one, something. So like we're gonna be like walking around, meeting people, talking. We're not gonna be like
Metroflex is
standing.
going to be like the Expo. No,
Oh yeah,
you guys want to train? Is it you training at Metro or
destination.
where are we training or destination?
Me personally, I'm trying to go everywhere. I'm trying to hit everywhere, but your destination is gonna be an expo,
Yeah,
basically.
Paul
Yeah,
wanted to do destination. I know.
we have to destination.
Destination's going to have a shitload of people. Metro, I'm going to need a personal fan to go in that one. No, we're not going to Arlington Metro. So
I do. I do want to. If it's close enough to swing by, I gotta go. I gotta go check it out at least once. I've never checked it out
Arlington,
before.
like the
Yeah,
original, I
yeah.
would go in it just for like the nostalgic feeling. Like I used to watch Ronnie in this gym. Now I get
Yeah.
to be in this gym.
Train calves. Let's do calves and forearms.
Calves of what?
And forearms. Because it's gonna be hot as fuck in there.
Actually, these stitches are going to come out on Tuesday. So as long as like right now, I still struggle to make a full fist, but I think by next week I'll be ready to train again. I'm just not going to be able to do any shoulder work.
Okay, yeah, fuck yeah. We gonna we gonna figure it out. But yeah, you're gonna definitely find it more fun walking around, meeting people, and not having to stay somewhere and sneak your meal in and shit like that. So
Yeah,
I on the back end of the experience is gonna be similar, but probably a lot more fun. So I'm
yeah.
definitely
I
looking
used to
forward.
hate that. That is one part I hated was, I was very regimented in my off season and like I know I pissed a few fans off, but if they were a real bodybuilding fan, I think they would understand. Like when you're supposed to run a boost from like 8 to 5, like, and all I get's a bathroom break, that's not going to work because the whole reason you're coming to see me is because I'm big and I'm big because of the way I train and the way I eat. So I refuse to sit there for 8, 9 hours and not eat. So like there was times I'd be like, hey, hang on, guys, like just chill. I'm like sitting here just like basically double fisting food to get it in my mouth and get it down. Now I'd eat a meal that would normally take me 15 minutes. I'd eat it in 3 to 4 just because I wanted to get through it and get back to doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I did piss a few people off. They're like, "Oh, he's just going to stop and eat in the middle of his job," and I'm like, "Whatever, man, whatever."
It's funny how that works. Damn, we didn't really get to do questions. We're gonna be on about 2 hours now, but let's do about two questions. You want to do a couple
All
questions?
right,
Just
we can
finish
throw
it.
2 out.
Let's play it. Huh. Oh, Favorite? Did you do a lot of guest posings?
I did a lot of guest posings, yes.
Perfect. Favorite place you guest posed?
Huh.
Well, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't have. It doesn't have to be. I don't know. I
I've
guess you
never
could
been
go.
asked that question, so I have to actually narrow it down.
Well, because what are we talking about? Location, experience. How did you look? Right.
I'll
I
go with
guess.
I'll try to blend it all together because I'm thinking that in my head too. Like one of my favorites, I guess posed in New Zealand for Mo. I had a really good time at that. And the from the guest poser's perspective, not the performance, but from my whole perspective, the promoter can make it or break it too. Because if I have a really shitty time while I'm there due to your lack of planning and preparation, like if I'm going to invite somebody to my house, I'm going to make sure that they're taken care of. Like, I may not cook your food for you, but hey,
Yeah.
here's the stove. Let's go to the store. Let's get this. Let's get that. Do you need anything? Can I help you? Like,
100%.
because you're my guest. But like, I've had promoters that are just completely unprepared. I'm like, well, this is a fucking disaster. The show may have been great, but like, you treated me like I was nothing. So I
Yeah.
had a few of those. But Mo did me really, really good when I was in New Zealand. I enjoyed my stay in New Zealand. I enjoyed meeting I want to say the Kiwi people. I don't think that's offensive because they're called Kiwis, but like I enjoyed meeting all the New Zealand people. The show was great. I enjoyed Chad shows. I can say that I've never guest posed for Chad and had a bad time. It was always good. It was always
Okay.
very well organized. He took care of things.
Which
I
Nichols?
know Yeah, Chad Nichols. And it always meant a lot because he would let me hand out the overall bodybuilding trophy too. And I think that just
Okay.
meant a lot to the guy who got the trophy that I was handing
Yeah,
it
that's
out to him.
cool.
So like that was cool experience for me to make him feel good.
Yeah, that's dope. I like
Um,
that.
Santana Anderson, I really liked his show. He doesn't promote anymore. His was good. His was up in Nova Scotia in Canada. Jim Morris had a really good event that I enjoyed. Jim Morris's show was the last time I ever guest posed. It was my last one. And I can't remember the name of the actual show itself, but it was in London, Ontario. Had a blast that weekend. It was great. Um,
Well,
Honey
we got it.
shows were so. I would say out of those, I'd probably have to I'd probably have to go Chad shows. Not any one particular, but just Chad as a promoter did a good job.
We got to. You definitely got to guest post at the Fit Nation Classic. Once we start having those.
Wait, you guys gonna do a show like promote a
I,
show? Oh, have you
yeah,
got art involved in it yet?
I'm just talking shit, but one day for sure. One day for sure. You got to speak it into existence. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have art involved with that. Okay. Did you did you ever feel like women were more attracted to you when you were in your cutting phases?
Okay, I'm gonna probably elaborate on that question to make it a little longer, but yes and no. So yes, because I don't think women are attracted to a fat face.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a fat fucking face. Like I can be single digit body fat, but my face says I'm 20%.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I look better with a slimmer, trimmer face. And based on my interactions over the years, I would say that to be valid. And also, you look smaller in clothing when you're dieting, right? And that is a big thing. Like, there's so many kids that want to like when I was big, I would meet kids, mostly like my hometown gym and stuff, because I don't think I was a very approachable guy in the gym unless you knew me. Um, and I would always have kids, they would always think that like people are going to be afraid of you and women are going to flock to you. And it's neither. Like it is absolutely neither when you're that big. Like nobody cares if you're big. I mean, a 140-pound guy can whip a 300-pound bodybuilder's ass all day long. And women, they don't like it, man. They don't like a 300-pound guy. They don't like a 250, 275. But when you diet down, you tend to look a little smaller until your clothes come off. That's a different story. But like just seeing me in like a 4X t-shirt, I would say I got more attention doing that. But before we get to that, I would say when I would walk around between 200 and about 225 is when I had the most attention in that department.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
before I ever did a national level show. As a matter of fact, there was a girl I went to school with. We were like best friends. A lot of people, my parents thought me and her were dating. Like if they thought we were keeping it quiet, we were not. We were literally legitimately that close that like I've slept in the same bed with her and we didn't touch each other. Like the thought did cross my mind that night, but I had like she was literally like my best friend. It's like if I do this, I'm gonna lose something way more valuable than a fucking 30 minutes of fun.
No going
And I
back.
knew we were not compatible to be together. But she worked in a tanning bed, and I remember I walked in there and I got ready. I was getting ready for the Mr. Kentucky, and I was like 195, 200 pounds. Right, it was like a week out doing my last tanning session. And she's working that day, and she's like, "Wow, you look really good." And I was like, "Do I not look good other times?" Like like you kind of offend. Like I don't know if I should be happy or offended that she said that. She goes, "Yeah, I like you when you're slim and trim like this." And when as soon as she said slim, I'm like, "Slim,
That's not what I'm
bitch,
going
I'm not
for. Yeah.
skinny. Shut up."
Yeah.
Like, like it kind of like I would always get kind of offended by it. But then like I saw her like she had moved out. Like she actually lived with me for one semester in college. She found herself kind of in a bad situation. Then I didn't see her for a little while, and then I see her like a year later, and I'm like 240, 250. And she just flat out told me, she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like she did not like it at all, did not approve of it. So
Yeah.
smaller is going to be better for attracting females.
Yeah.
Bigger is going to attract men, just to be fucking straight up about it.
So my experience was this. As I started getting bigger, right? In my head, first of all, I would ask girls like my female friends, would you prefer a guy who's bigger? Or a guy? They always say, oh, a guy, leaner, not bigger. So in my head, I was like, damn, if I get big, these girls won't like me, right? Boom. So as I get bigger, I noticed that I'm getting a little bit more attention still. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would I be getting more attention for getting bigger? I look horrible. Because in my head, I'm like, I look, like you said, the fat face, my face gets so fat. I'm like, I look so disgusting that I'm almost ashamed of myself when a girl likes me. I'm like, why would a girl like this? That's so disgusting, right?
I would feel the same way. That's how I felt.
Exactly. But now being older, I understand that women aren't always physical. So from a physical perspective, for sure they like me better when I'm leaner because I would see women who don't know me look at me or try to talk to me or initiate. So for sure,
Yeah.
random strange women are more attracted to me because I'm leaner. But now, um, if a girl, if a girl, if a girl knows you, let's say a girl from the gym, right? And she's seeing how other men respect you. Like you said, you get other men talk to you. If you're the guy in the gym, once you walk in the gym, all the men flock to you. Hey, how you doing, bro? That level of respect toward a man, women do admire that.
Yes, they do.
That's
Absolutely.
the guy that every man in here respects. That's a turn on. So it's not physical. You are ugly and fat. That sounds fucked up. That sounds super fucked up. Yes, you are bloated and you look like shit. But women aren't always as physical as men. They like a man who demands respect. So that's the turn on. This is a big guy. Everybody respects him. I like that he's the it guy. So that's why I felt like I was getting some play, but it wasn't by how I looked. It was more so, oh, that guy is popular. All the, so then it was confusing to me. I'm like, maybe they do like it. But then when I would cut down, I'm like, okay, now this is the attention that's more like physical, sexual attention because they're physically attracted to me. Now, another caveat, if you're in a long-term relationship, by that point, when the woman like really loves you, likes you, whatever, they don't give a fuck if you're fat, skinny, in a wheelchair. What they don't care. They just like you, whatever.
That's how you
So
treat them at that point.
exactly. So that confused me as well. With my ex, I would bulk. What do you think? I would go, wait. I'm like, are you more attracted? She's like, I
She
don't
just doesn't
care.
care.
Like, I don't give a fuck. I was sick with the pneumonia, dropped 40, 50 pounds. She's like, you actually look cute like this. I'm like, I got loose skin. I look like shit. It's like, because they don't give a fuck. At that point, they love you for who you are as a man. So at the end of right? So at the end of the day, the most important part is if you're a good dude and people fucking like you, They don't give a fuck if you're fat, shredded, or whatever. You can still, you know what I'm saying? You're still gonna get friends. You're still gonna
Yep.
pick up girls because you have the charisma. You're a nice guy. You're likable. You make a good living. So for the person that asks the question, it doesn't even matter. Do whatever the
Just be
fuck you want to.
confident. That's the biggest thing. Like
Yeah.
I've had that conversation before. Like when I was younger, I was very, very insecure and I was very quiet. You can't be either one of those. You got to be, I don't want to
100%.
say uh, an extrovert, but you got to talk, you got to show confidence. If you can do that, you don't really need to worry about your physique.
No, no.
You can't weigh like 450 fucking pounds, no. But even then, I have seen some really fat dudes with some really good looking women. I'm like, in my head, I'm
Of
like, what
course.
the hell am I doing wrong?
Of course. Okay, if anybody listens to us here on this podcast or meets us at a show or expo, they would never believe that me and you are introverts by nature. They'll be like, no, you guys were there talking to everybody and you've been on a podcast for 2 hours talking. How could you say you're introvert? We are introverts. We just learn to be comfortable in a bodybuilding fitness environment to talk to certain people. And, it's something we learned, right? To get out of, like you said, you get
Yeah,
out of
you
your
took me
shell.
into a setting that I'm not familiar with. I'm just going to sit there and not say anything.
Exactly. My ex was an actor. When I'm around, not her friends that I know well, but if I'm around, like, let's say we go to the Oscars or something, I'm so awkward. This is not my scene. They
I
they all
wouldn't know
they
what to do there either.
no, they all assume I'm a football player because of course fucking linebackers are 300 pounds,
Yeah,
bodybuilders. Like what the fuck?
I got
What
that shit
position?
too.
So I'm so awkward and introverted in that position. So it's like you said, it's how you conduct yourself, right? Uh, Justin Compton in your prime, right? You could fucking 310 pounds. Okay, women are like, wow, that's so sexy. But you walk at a show, everybody like, oh, there goes Compton. He's 26. He's already third place at the Arnold. You're that guy. So women are gonna find you attractive in that scene,
Yeah,
at least. All these girls are gonna find you attractive anyway because you're Compton. Wow, look, he's big. So that's more of it. Just do what you love. Be passionate about it. Don't worry about what attracts women as far as physically, because you're gonna attract them anyways when you're doing well in whatever it is you do. And if you're passionate, you'll probably do well. Like we started the podcast talking about.
it's funny you mentioned the football player thing. People always assume, like bodybuilders look nothing like football players and vice versa, in
Right.
my opinion. But I remember one story. I was a little. I just sat back and watched it all unfold. But me and a friend of mine walked into a gas station. He was about I'm going to say 315 to 330 range,
Yeah.
in pretty good shape at that. Now, he had ugly shape. The guy never turned pro, but he was fucking big. He was really
Mhm.
big. And I walked in at like 290, 295. The gas station clerk was middle aged female. And she said, wow, you guys are really big. And we're just like, yep, like we're just minding our own business. And she goes, I'm a little bit fiery, but I'm nowhere near as fiery as my friend is. And she goes, yeah, my son, he's pretty much your all size. And now immediately we're both like I'm
Who
one
your
of the
fan?
top guys. Well, who's your son, Jay Cutler?
Yeah, if I could feel Heath, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you got
actually
about
is.
five fucking people that was bigger than me. So let's just see who you're talking about. But my buddy goes, she said her 17-year-old son that plays football is as big as us. He kind of lost his temper on. He probably made her feel bad. But he was like, really? He's like, your 17-year-old son's that big, and of course, she's dead serious, but she
Yeah,
doesn't know. And he like points to me, goes, really? This guy here is like top 5, top 10 in the world. He's won pro shows. He's been in magazines. You're telling me your 17-year-old son's do that? Like you should tell him to stop football, but he needs to be a pro bodybuilder. He could just be Mr.
yeah.
Olympia by the time he's 18. I
Bunny
was like,
Coleman.
dude, I was like, just shut up, man. Let's just get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not trying
Oh
to
man,
shit on this lady and her son.
bro, that have. Oh, you ever had a girl say, "Oh yeah, my boyfriend's a bodybuilder," and the first thing
Oh,
you think is, "Oh, of course, yeah, he's a fucking vegan, a vegan natural novice bodybuilder." And yeah, we all know, yeah, he's like 130 pounds, and I'm like, this is what they think is bodybuilding. Like this is,
yeah.
it's, oh
I've
man,
seen that before. And then I've actually had it before. I'm sitting here as I wanted to tell the story, but I can't fucking think who it was. I was guest posing out of town. And this girl comes up to me in the gym, and she actually started the conversation with me. And she told me that her boyfriend's a bodybuilder. That was the first thing that came to mind, was like, he's probably a 120-pound beanpole. It turns out her boyfriend was like, I cannot for the life of me remember, but he was like an Olympian at one point. He was
Oh,
still
he
big
legit,
too.
yeah.
I meet him at the show the next day. I was like, oh fuck, you didn't tell me that was your boyfriend. Like,
Funny. I was watching a podcast and somebody told an exact same story like that. One of the pros' moms was like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, my son is bigger than you." And they're like, "Who's your son?" And it was one of the guys in the show. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's bigger than me."
yeah, he actually is. He does walk the walk.
That's hilarious. But that almost never happens. Literally.
Yeah, it's usually the opposite. It usually is the skinny guy that calls himself a bodybuilder.
Exactly. But Compton, hey, it was nice talking to you, man. As you can see, like my mental energy and mood is almost
It's
like
not bad.
no, it's almost back to like 8 weeks out. I'm like, but now I'm like, I'm physically drained, but mentally I'm good. There was a point where like physically I was able to train really heavy and I was strong, but mentally I couldn't even talk. So it's like it's just weird things going on. It's like now it's here, now it's here. So now I'm like hyper focused. I'm getting a lot of shit done, but I'm still tired. But I'm able to. It's
Yeah.
weird. I don't know, but
Are you
if
using any stimulants like coffee or anything like that right now?
I did the opposite. I took it out. I was doing everything. I was doing phentermine sometimes, Adderall sometimes, a shit ton of caffeine at one point. I'm on zero caffeine, no phentermine, no Adderall, but
Okay, that's good. I mean,
kratom.
just don't change that going into the last week because you know those stimulants can have a diuretic effect.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
just don't change that going into the final week.
I've been, but what's keeping me like alert is the kratom for some reason. The kratom
Okay,
is
you
keeping me
just
alert.
leave it all the same. Like, don't change it
Okay,
now.
okay.
The only experience I've ever had with Kratom is when Joe gave me a dial.
It should. Hey,
I actually liked it.
dial
I
moves code macho. No, yeah.
actually did like it when I had it.
I mean, if I'm being honest, if I had to name the biggest game changers this prep, well, obviously having the coach, but that goes without say, you coaching me. But it hands down Kratom, hands down Kratom. It's
Nick's
just
big on it too, right?
to be honest, anybody who's tried good Kratom is completely sold. And this whole addiction thing, I've been on and off. Like, there's no like, oh, I need it. I need kratom. It just helps a lot, and I take it as needed. Some days I take a good amount. Some days I take a little bit. Some days I take none. I can't speak for everybody, but I don't believe in this. It could be addictive thing, at least for most people, and it just works really well. Uh, I could do an hour cardio and not feel this, this mental stress and angst you feel when you're in prep. And it's just like, I just want to like, I can't sleep, but I don't want to work, but I don't want to work out, but I don't want to do, it's just weird. That relaxes. And you just like, it's just cardio and you just do
Yeah.
it and you just do it.
Oh,
So
that's my thing. Maybe I needed it because I feel like maybe I could have gotten in better shape if because I fucking hated cardio.
you see what I'm
Hated it with a
saying?
passion. I still hate cardio. The only thing I like for cardio is I like boxing,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
this
Yeah, me
this
too.
is the shoulder I had surgery on. Now this one's screwed up. So it's like anything that comes across my body does not feel good anymore.
Oh, wow. Literally, kratom makes you not hate cardio. This is the first time in my life where I can do 2 hours of cardio and I'm good. There's no like, I wish I didn't have to do 2 hours of cardio. Honestly, I could, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm tired, but that goes without saying. But like, it's not bothering me to do. Like, I used to be like,
Yeah.
why me? All my friends are doing 30 minutes. This is so horrible. I'm doing it like, okay, this is cool. Yeah. And I could push it pretty hard. I actually,
Well, I mean,
um,
when people say like, why do I got to do so much? I mean, it does vary from person to person. But a good example of somebody who did a lot of cardio that's very legendary is Ronnie. Ronnie
and
was doing two
Phil
hours a
too.
day too. Phil did 2 hours.
Yeah, Phil was doing an hour and a half, 2 hours. I just watched this wasn't every year, but I was literally just watching Rip to Shreds. Jay did 3 hours of cardio in the video I watched. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And he did it in that video in particular. He did it all in one sitting. He did an hour here, hour here. It was like 2 a.m. at the gym. And I was like,
Oh, I couldn't do 3 hours at one time. I think even if I had the mental, lung, and heart capacity to do that, I don't think. Sorry, if I had the physical, like the lungs and the heart capacity, I don't think I have the mental capacity to sit there for 3 hours.
oh, you got to be a complete psycho. You got to lean into the psychoness, and then with the Kratom, it's like, it helps me lean into whatever I'm feeling. If I'm feeling energized, it leans. If I'm feeling sleepy, or if I'm feeling crazy. So if I'm feeling fucked up, I'm like, good, let me feel more fucked up. Because to sit there and do that cardio, you have to be a little fucked up, And it's Jay doesn't get credit. Jay is a psychopath, because I'm watching him. He did like a 3 hour leg workout, got on a scale, and he was down like 15 pounds. The guy did like 5 sets of 6 exercises for hams. I'm like, and it was heavy. I was like, this is insane. How could you do that much volume, and why would you do that much volume and
He
do all
still
that
ate a lot of
cardio?
carbs, right?
I think, yeah, but he was fueling himself to overtrain, basically,
Yeah,
because
see, that's the thing. I don't agree with that. Like, I just feel like why eat so much? Like, I feel like if you're
I
breaking
agree.
2 hours, like my thing is there's a balance in the beginning of prep
I agree.
of lowering the food and increasing the cardio. But there's a point when you're like 2 hours of cardio. If you're at 2 hours of cardio and you're still eating 500 grams of carbs, you need to bring the carbs down and the cardio down. Like, I feel like that's going to be more beneficial to both up here and in here because you're overworking the hell out of things.
That's exactly how I feel. But he did something different every prep, right? If you watch Jay's DVDs, every prep was different. He did another one where he did no cardio whatsoever the entire prep.
Yeah.
And you look at the different looks, and with all due respect, he kind of looked kind of the same most of the shows. Some shows maybe a little bit fuller, a little bit harder. So it's like, but Jay's body was weird, But I think that's a waste of time. I think if you're doing 3 hours of cardio, you might as
Sure,
well
in
do.
'09, he did a lot of cardio just because that's
He
like
did with
honest.
honey, but he actually did look very different, and his carbs were low though. That's the difference. He wasn't
I do
doing three
remember
hours.
Honey told me he had to hit him with like I don't remember the exact number, so I'm gonna shush my mouth on that. But I remember he told Jay that he wanted to beat granola for carbing up, and he said he probably ate like 4 or 5 bags of granola in a day, like whole like big bags, like 2 pound bags.
That's wild, yeah.
Like it was a shitload of granola, but like that, I guess Jay was just fucking sick of rice, and they were also looking to do dry carbs rather than like rice being a wet carb.
Yeah, some people get a little drier on that. Yeah,
Yeah, I prefer to control it with different methods, but that's one way of doing it as well. Maybe,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think Jay actually said this one time that he's a little sensitive to diuretics. Like if he uses diuretics, he gets a little too flat.
Yeah, he's somebody who has trouble holding on to fullness, yeah, for sure. So yeah, I can see that. But
All right, man, you
Con,
want to call this and
yeah, I'm starting to fade. But that was a long one. That probably the longest one we did, which is
about two
which is
hours.
which is dope. Yeah, I'm definitely a lot more talkative in the one-on-ones
Um,
right now. So,
do you want to do one next week, like in person, or just like
oh
literally? I mean, I don't
shit. Oh, because you're gonna be here
creep it
Thursday.
up. Yeah,
Oh yeah, we can do it right here. Yeah, I'll put my camera. I will do it right here. Perfect.
yeah. I
Yeah,
was gonna say you could just literally put two cameras, or have one camera for that matter.
yeah. I think I'll just do, because it's only two of us, so I don't have to pan out. It can literally be one camera facing both of us. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down.
We'll do that next week.
Perfect. Perfect. All
All
right,
right, man.
Compton.
I'll let you go. Let you get
Let's
on with
get
your
it.
day.
I'm checking in Friday tomorrow. When am I
Yeah,
checking
that's
tomorrow?
tomorrow.
Perfect. All right, coach. I'll see you tomorrow, man.